Live from the Lou Costello Room in Sisimo's Bars in beautiful Baltimore, Maryland, it's Hampden Tonight! With guests, Rob Lee, Jamar, Joe, with stand-up by Michael Furr. Now, put your hands together for your host, Rob Lee.
Ooh, jingles, 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 jingles. Transitions, scratch, fade out.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rob Phoenix, your host for this evening. Everyone give it up for Cole, our announcer. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. In the news, recently, one day this week, there was an AI launched by Microsoft with name tag. A huge mistake. It was based on a teenage girl. So basically, they put it on Twitter, and it transformed into a Hitler-loving, incest-promoting, 9/11 was an inside job proclaiming robot. The project's lead programmer was not completely taken aback by the effects. In fact, he believes in many ways it was too successful because it mimicked real-life interactions. We've all been on Twitter. We all need to be the first person to say, you know, Gary Shaling died. Fuck you. I was there first. You know, the type of Instagram people that you post a picture of, you know, your favorite Instagram thought, post a picture first, but really like they're like the 800th comment down because, you know, 700 people claim first and then, you know, decided they wanted to promote their podcast in the comments or whatever bullshit, or like waist shakers. After being shut down, the teenage robot stormed into a room proclaiming, "Fuck you guys, I wish I was never programmed in this family." This is the first time robot AI has gone awry. Recently, a self-driving Tesla decided to go drunk driving and commit massive vehicular atrocities. Another tech news, UK scientists created a vessel and they decided to let the internet, which we've all seen goes wrong, name the vessel. The winning name was RSS Bodie Big Boatface. This information, of course, coming from the credible source truthmakeneverlie.com, also known as Wikipedia. Bodie Big Boatface was not actually the highest voted name in the contest. Frankly, some of the names were too horrible to really, you know, be out at sea, plastered on the side of a giant boat, because it made some offensive people out at sea. Which, in this climate where we still have pirates, you can imagine that would be really hard to do. So we here at Hampden Tonight have been thinking about, you know, changing the name up, making it fresh, new. So we left it out to the internet. That was Cole's idea, actually. Thank you, Cole. And some of the names included McHampden Tonight, Laffy McFunny Show, Hanky McNobody's Watching, Too Bad You Can't Cancel Things on the Internet, and Late Night with Stephen Colbert. In literary news, a charity bookshop in Britain is asking people to stop donating their copies of 50 Shades of Grey. The store has so many copies that the employees are able to make a makeshift fort out of all the copies. Luckily, all the copies came with their own sticky adhesive, which is unknown, but frankly, the less we know about the sticky adhesive, it's probably for the better. The fort also included a dungeon, not the good king.com, you know, dungeon, but, you know, a dungeon full of 50 Shades of Grey characters and the occasional 50 Shades of Black characters with Marlon Wayans. Unfortunately, there are other things that, other books that they've gotten mass quantities, such as the Da Vinci Code. which they made to a large replica of the Vatican City, and Twilight, which they just made into an angsty goth girl that cheated on Robert Pattinson. Easter was this past week, and everybody enjoy Easter. Everybody celebrate, go not trick or treating, but bobbing for eggs or whatever you do. So we all heard of the company Pez. We've all grown up and, you know, eaten their terrible candy. So for about 3 years now, they've held their annual Easter egg hunt. But this year things went awry when parents started bum rushing the event, knocking over children to, I guess, reclaim lost glory for their kid because, you know, they were last picked in gym class or whatever the case is. A spokesman from Pez said, "We are so sad that this happened on our watch. Be certain that it tend to disappoint children on Easter." This from the company that's been tricking us into eating decorative soap as candy. This is candy so bad that they had to, that if they dispense it to you in cartoons you've forgotten about. This is undoubtedly the biggest tragedy that ever happened on Easter. You know, as far as I know, Easter is about rabbits, chickens being hatched by rabbits, something about a carpenter being crucified in the Middle East, eating chocolate all day, and mostly explaining to people why I enjoy the black jelly beans. Another Easter news, a 10-foot tall effigy of Donald Trump was burned in Mexico. It's part of their yearly Easter week tradition, where they burn their Judases, or as they call them, Judases. One of the people that attend this tour reported that in the past year they've burned effigies of Osama bin Laden. So now officially Donald Trump is now worse than Osama bin Laden. Not to be mistaken for a colorful piñata, the paper mache effigy was filled with candy, but instead meat and old wigs, which to me frankly sounds like the current Donald Trump. Although mad about the 10-foot effigy, Donald was pleased to find out that for the first time ever, his fingers were larger than the size of children's. Thank you, everybody. We'll be right back.